Sato stood on the fortress wall, scanning the horizon. His weathered hands gripped the hilt of his sword as the wind carried the scent of rot. Every 5 days, the Horde returned, like a cursed cycle. Down in the courtyard, Tristan worked feverishly in his workshop. The 15-year-old wiped sweat from his brow, adjusting gears and tightening bolts on a strange contraption. "You should rest," Sato said as he entered the workshop. "Can't," Tristan muttered, not looking up. "Last attack almost took out the east wall. I've got an idea that'll stop them before they even get close." Sato sighed. Stronger isn't always better. Sometimes, simpler wins. Tristan smirked, tightening the last bolt. Not this time. The fortress bustled with activity. A handful of survivors, their faces hollowed by exhaustion, reinforced the gates with salvaged metal. Sato drilled a group of defenders, his voice sharp. Tristan called him over. "I finished it." Sato eyed the automatic spear launcher, its gears clicking smoothly as Tristan cranked it. He picked up a test spear and loaded it. The machine fired with a sharp thunk, impaling a training dummy. Sato grunted in approval. "This might actually work." Tristan grinned. "Wait until you see the real surprise." Sato frowned. "What surprise?" Tristan just shook his head. The wind carried the scent of decay. Sato watched from the tower as crows circled in the distance. Then he saw them. Hundreds of shambling corpses, moving as one. Tristan climbed up beside him. "They're early." Sato tightened his grip on his sword. "Then we're out of time." The first wave hit just as the sun dipped behind the mountains. Tristan's spear launchers fired rapidly, impaling dozens of zombies before they reached the walls. Defenders with crossbows picked off stragglers, while Sato led the fighters at the gate, cutting down anything that got too close. But the Horde was bigger this time, stronger. A section of the east wall began to crack. Sato shouted, "Fall back to the second line!" Tristan's eyes darted between his father and his unfinished invention in the workshop. He hesitated. A deep, guttural roar silenced the battlefield. The Titan emerged from the mist, a monstrous zombie, fused with rusted armor and bones. It towered over the others, its glowing hollow eyes locked onto the fortress. One massive step sent a tremor through the ground. "Oh, no," Tristan whispered. The Titan raised its fist and slammed it into the weakened wall. Stone shattered. Defenders screamed as the impact knocked them off their feet. Sato stared at the monster and knew this was no ordinary zombie. "Everyone, fall back!" The Titan roared again and charged. Zombies flooded the breach, overwhelming the courtyard. Sato swung his blade, cutting through the onslaught, but there were too many. Tristan grabbed his father's arm. "We can't hold them! We need a plan!" Sato growled, hacking down another zombie. "Then think of something!" Tristan's mind raced. The spear launchers wouldn't work against the Titan's armor. Fire wouldn't spread fast enough. Then he remembered the secret weapon. He sprinted toward his workshop. Tristan yanked a dusty tarp off his unfinished pulse cannon, a strange machine covered in wires and glowing blue coils. Sato barged in, out of breath. "What the hell is that?" Tristan flipped a switch, and the machine hummed to life. "Something I've been working on." But it wasn't ready. Sato eyed the Titan approaching the fortress gate. "It's ready now." Tristan nodded, setting the device on the fortress wall. He adjusted the power levels, took a deep breath, and aimed. The Titan crashed through the inner gates, stepping into the fortress. Defenders scattered. Tristan's fingers hovered over the trigger. "Come on, just a little more." The Titan let out a deafening roar and charged toward them. Tristan pulled the trigger. A pulse of blue energy exploded outward, sending a shockwave across the battlefield. The smaller zombies disintegrated instantly, their decayed bodies collapsing into dust. The Titan staggered, groaning in agony as the energy surged through its armor. Its movement slowed. Sato saw the opening. He grabbed a spear tipped with explosives, sprinted forward, and threw it with all his strength. The spear lodged deep into the Titan's chest. Sato turned to Tristan. Hit it again. Tristan cranked the power to maximum and fired. The second pulse struck the Titan, igniting the explosive spear. With a final earth-shaking explosion, the Titan let out a distorted, dying roar and collapsed into a heap of burning flesh and shattered armor. The battlefield was silent. The last embers of the explosion faded. Tristan sat on the ruined wall, looking at the remains of his pulse cannon. It burned out the core. Sato sat beside him, exhausted. We'll make another. Tristan glanced at the fortress, half collapsed, walls barely standing. How long can we keep doing this? Sato sighed, staring at the rising sun. As long as we have to. Sato placed a hand on Tristan's shoulder. You saved us all tonight, son. Tristan shook his head. It wasn't just me. You saw the moment. You took the shot. Sato gave a tired smile. Strength wins battles, but wisdom wins wars. You have both, Tristan. That's why we're still here. Tristan exhaled. In 5 days, they would have to fight again. But today, they had won. And that was enough.